Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Pisces-T, which I received from www.schmovapes.co.uk. Before I start, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the product remained true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, let's go straight ahead and show you in a bit more detail. Okay, so the Pisces-T is a telescopic mechanical device which has been manufactured by a company called J2P, who are based in the Philippines, and it's made out of 304 grade stainless steel and basically consists of these 5 parts here. So you have the top cap, 2 telescopic sections, the central part of the main body, and then finally the bottom button switch. The top cap uses a 510 connection, making it compatible with all your favourite 510 atomizers. And as you can hopefully see, going around the top, you do have a slight juice well there to help catch any excess e-liquid. For the centre pin, it uses a 99.9% copper centre pin, so you're going to get really good conductivity. And it's also a free floating centre pin, which allows you to have all your atomizers sitting completely flush on the end without any gaps. The 2 telescopic parts allow you to adjust the overall length of the Pisces-T to accommodate for different length batteries. And you can use a 18500 battery, an 18500 plus a kick, or an 18650 battery on its own. Now both the telescopic pieces are going to screw into either end of this sort of central part of the main body. And as you can see, it's threaded all the way through, really good quality threads, everything screws up nice and smoothly. And again, that's to accommodate for different length batteries. On the front, you're going to find some engraving, and it's not your sort of more commonplace laser engraving. This seems to be more like the old sort of fashioned traditional engraving. At first, I wasn't overly keen, to be honest, but over the last sort of few weeks, it's grown on me a little bit, and I do think it actually sort of ties in quite nicely with the overall look of the Pisces-T. And right in the centre there, you can see you have a vent hole, and you do have 3 going all the way around the body. And this is for, obviously, if you do happen to be very unlucky and have a battery venting gases, then those gases do have a means to escape. And then finally, you have the bottom button switch, and it's a really nice switch to use. The overall tension of the spring for me is sort of pretty much perfect. It hardly takes any sort of effort at all to get it all activated and firing up your atomizer. You can press it in the middle, you can press it on the edge, and again it fires up every single time. Nice large surface area on the actual button as well, again makes it nice and sort of comfortable to use. And as you can see, you do have this quite sort of deep set, more traditional style engraving with your serial number, a picture of the Pisces symbol, and also saying Pisces-T at the bottom now. It does have a locking feature, so at the moment it's open. Obviously I could press the button in and start activating the atomizer, but if I was going to carry it around in my pocket, I just need to give this a little bit of a spin, and that's it, it's all locked off. And just like the top cap, once again it uses a 99.9% copper contact, so you're going to get that really good conductivity. Okay, so to assemble the Pisces-T, I'm just going to start off by attaching the bottom button switch to one of the telescopic sections. And as you can see, the telescopic part has this sort of lip here, and it'll be this end which goes towards the switch. So that's just going to screw in there like that. And as you can sort of see, you know, really good sort of quality thread. You know, you can just sort of give it a spin, and that's it, it's done up. I'm then going to take the central part of the main body and screw it onto the other end of the telescopic section. And I'm just going to screw it on just enough to basically cover the threads. Now with the second telescopic section, you want to make sure that the end with the lip goes towards the top cap. So it's going to be this end here which gets screwed into the sort of central part of the main body. And again, I'm just going to screw it in enough to basically cover up the threading. Now when it comes to batteries, it can be used with either an 18490 or an 18500, an 18500 plus a kick, or an 18650. And I'm going to be using an 18500 or 18490 battery, which are pretty much exactly the same thing. And I'm just going to insert the negative ending towards the switch, so it goes down there like that. And then from there, what you do is attach your top cap and then just adjust to basically accommodate for the different length batteries by screwing in the telescopic sections. Now, as the top cap uses an adjustable sort of free floating centre pin, in order to get your atomizer sitting completely flush on the end without any sort of gaps whatsoever, you want to take the top cap off and then attach your atomizer and then attach the top cap onto the rest of the Pisces-T. Okay, so once the atomizer is attached onto the top cap, what you're going to do is take the top cap and then screw that onto the rest of the Pisces-T. And then from there, obviously you've got a lot of battery rattle there at the moment, so what you need to do is start to screw in the two telescopic sections in to obviously accommodate for that battery. Now, me having a little bit of OCD, I like to try and get it so they're evenly spaced on either side, so I'm just going to play about for a quick second, and that looks almost right. That'll do. Okay, so at the moment then I've got the atomizer sitting completely flush on the end there, no gaps whatsoever. Got no battery rattle, and when I press the fire button, it's all fired up nicely. Okay, so that is the Pisces-T. Let's go ahead, see what it vapes like. Okay, so that was the Pisces-T, and what I'll do now is go ahead and show you in action. So the battery came off the charger around 5 minutes ago, so should still be a fully charged battery reading around 4.2 volts. I'm going to be using a Kraken atomizer, which is a Genesis style Atty. The resistance of the coil is reading 1.2 ohms, and I've got the tank filled up with some 18 milligram strength tobacco flavoured e-liquid. It's just a PG e-liquid. Okay, so this is the Pisces-T. As you can see, like vape wise, you're getting plenty of vapour out of it. But like I always say, just bear in mind that the amount of vapour production you're going to get will be totally down to what sort of atomizer or cartomizer you've actually got stuck on the end of it. But nevertheless, with the setup I've got here, getting plenty of vapour. When it comes to the build quality, it's a very nicely machined device, very good quality threading on there, all the parts screwed together, you know, really smoothly. There's no sort of rough edges or sharp edges, no little sort of burrs or anything like that, just a very good sort of very good quality device. And when I received it, the actual finish, it came in sort of pretty much a perfect condition, no scratches or little scuff marks or anything like that. You know, exactly what you'd expect from a very nicely made, a very nicely machined device. With regards to the batteries, obviously you can use a 18500 or 18490, an 18500 plus a kick if you want your sort of regulated vaping, or an 18650. Now if you're a very sort of hardcore vaper, going to be sort of chain vaping it all day long, you're probably going to want to stick to the 18650 batteries, which will obviously give you that sort of longer battery life. For me personally, I really like the 18500 batteries. You're still getting good battery life out of it, and it keeps everything down to a nice sort of a minimum size. And for me personally, an 18500, I'm going through at least sort of 2 a day, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but I'd say on average around sort of 2 batteries a day using the 18500s. Now if you're a very light vaper, you could probably quite easily make an 18500 last you the full day. If you're a very heavy vaper, like a chain vaper, you're probably going to go through at least sort of 3 or 4 of them a day. So if you are a particularly heavy user, obviously stick with the 18650s. The switch on it, no, it really does work very well indeed. Nice little large surface area there, so it's very sort of comfortable to use as well. And you can press it right on the edge, you can press it in the middle, and it does fire up every single time. Now I hesitate there because in the close-up shots I said, oh no, you've never had any sort of misfire problems. Literally as soon as I finished recording those close-up shots, I went to have a vape and I started getting misfires. And the reason for that was because basically the contacts needed cleaning. Where there was, when I first got it, it was also quite nice and shiny, but I've had it now for 5 or 6 weeks, something like that. And it's had a lot of use over that period of time. And so by this stage, the contacts have got a fair amount of sort of tarnish on it. So what I've done was just got a bit of brass. So spent literally 30 seconds, 40 seconds, giving them a quick wipe over, and now it's sort of now it fires up every single time as you'd expect. So having to clean your contacts once every sort of 5 or 6 weeks is sort of no hardship really. Truth is, if you want to keep your devices running really nice and properly all the time, you should probably give your contacts a clean sort of once a week. But nevertheless, once every 5 weeks, no hardship whatsoever. So the positives for me are definitely, I like the looks of it. I really do like the look of it. It's got a nice finish. It's sort of a mixture between brushed and polished. It's sort of neither particularly one or the other, and the two combined just give it that really nice sort of look to it. It's obviously you've got the free floating centre pin there, so you can get your atomizers sitting on there completely flush without any sort of gaps. It's telescopic, so you can have different length batteries in there, and the kick as well. And also because it's telescopic, it gets rid of the old battery rattle, so you've got no worries about sort of, gaps or battery rattle, which for me is definitely two big pluses. And the other good thing about it is the size, and like it really is a very compact little unit. Even with the 18650 battery, it still remains a pretty small size. And this with the 18500 is actually still smaller than some of my 18350 mods. So like I said, it really is a very nice sort of a compact form factor. Only slight negatives for me are the engraving. I'm not overly keen on the engraving. It's a little bit garish, I suppose, and I think it would probably look a little bit nicer if the logo was a little bit smaller and maybe laser engraved, and the same with on the switch as well. It just looks that little bit sort of a little bit neater, but it does sort of tie in quite nicely with the overall look of the Pisces-T. And the other sort of very, very minor negative is the locking ring. It works perfectly, and you can, this is sort of almost like a positive as well as a negative, because you can lock it and unlock it with just a quick spin of your finger. But I do find though, is that sometimes when I've got it sort of open so I can vape on it, maybe it's just the way I'm holding it, but I'll do sometimes accidentally start to lock it up again. Not to the point where you can't use it, but you do feel it starting to sort of come loose, and so I find myself having to sort of spin it back up again. But other than that, it really is a very nice and very good quality device as well. Looks great with all your sort of 22mm atomizers. Not a massive amount else I can really tell you about it. If you fancy trying one out for yourself, go along to www.schmovapes.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching. Also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping. See you later.